know how I do.
Let's get cracking!
Welcome back, everybody. It's your coverage of the Dota 2 Champions League into the winners bracket final, where not today, the boys from Peru will be battling up against the Americans, most of them formerly known as Team Liquid, but now they are known as the Sneaky Nix Assassins. They will be battling up here. Obviously, the favorites will be SNA, but then again, not today. Were the underdogs yesterday, and they did bloody well. So let's see how they go today as we go into game number 1 of this best of 3. The winner of this will go straight through into the grand final. And if you are able to come out on top of that grand final, you will be looking at a sweet ticket to Bucharest, which is in about 3 to 4 weeks' time for the LAN finals of the D2CL. A lot of LAN matches coming up. A lot of LAN matches on the way. So, for now, not today, we'll have the Just Prophet as well as the Skywrath Mage coming into play, as the Centaur and the Viper are also being made available here for the Sneaky Nix Assassins. And I was wondering where TC would go with this, considering he had one of his favorite heroes, the Razor, being banned out, and the Death Prophet. He had nowhere else to go, but it's because he had the bans on both Jakiro and Brewmaster. It's very much focused towards not today. They love having that Brewmaster pick up. The Jakiro was also what was able to allow them to force out the lanes, and to deny them the Centaur as well kind of denies IO most of his heroes, apart from the Batrider. I think it's like the last hero which you could be looking in for not today as their final one. And we'll see what path they want to go down. For now, both teams not revealing... Well, actually, Sneaky Nix Assassins reveal a little bit more because they got the Viper pickup, but that Centaur could end up anywhere. More than likely, he'll be the offlane up against the Skywrath Mage. He'll tank a lot of damage, but it'll be for the greater good. The Viper will go towards the mid lane. Then we just need the last combination from the SNA boys to go down to that bottom lane. And if they want to go for a pushing kind of style, obviously going up against a Skywrath and an Nature's Prophet, but there's no reason why you can't force out the towers as well. But you probably want to make sure you get like the good combinations off. Centaur still doesn't have a hero to work with at the moment. He kind of needs that extra setup stunner. I say setup stunner. He's the setup stunner. They need a follow-up stun or damage to work with the Centaur. The Mirana would actually be a really nice pickup, because that's also your follow-up stun and your follow-up damage all in one big nice little package. Also using the Moonlight Shadow to initiate gives you more to play around with. So not today. Taking a lot of time for this 4th ban. They must understand what SNA are going to go for. In fact, there is really like no 100% way you can work it out. So they decided to take out the Undying.
Team ban.
It did get played around with by SNA in yesterday's game, but I don't know if they really would have gone down the lines of an Undying with this kind of lineup. If I should just check out, so what do we have out from Sneaky Nix Assassins in yesterday's game?
10 seconds
so when they did play the Undying, they actually had IX Mike 88 on the Centaur, and they ran. That was when Ush ran this Weaver. I'm going to say right now, Whitebeard on the Undying, he did a decent job, but at the same time, it was all about Ush in that game. Oh! Oh, this time it works! This time it works. For people who are tuning in for our earlier game today, and we had the Drove Visage combination, the build was still right, but what wasn't there is when you have support Earthshakers, and you had a Batrider who does piss all damage on the offlane. What you're searching for in this matchup is a huge bonus towards your mid-solo. And it's the Viper that's going to get a whole lot of it. With the Visage as well, one of Fluff and Stuff's old signature heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
And then a Centaur War Runner is just their initiation. The rest of it comes down to their split push power. So they run a Draw Ranger safe lane, and they can pick up something like an Enigma or potentially an Enchantress as well, but I don't know if they've got enough Micro Boys on their lineup. If Whitebeard's really up for playing that. With the Yoga Magi actually coming up, too, you're going to need someone who's nice and tanky. I'd really actually prefer to see something like an Enigma still coming in. Because they can pull a lot of farm out of the jungle. The only thing they've got to be careful about is if not today go with an aggro tri-lane with the Ogre Magi Skywrath Mage together. Then you can't go the Enigma. But there's... Well, you might... No, even then you probably won't find it out from this pickup. Not today, you have to keep it a secret to the very last selection. But not today should definitely try and contest this Drow Ranger. Which means SNA need heroes that can fight very early on. Really good zone out heroes that can make the most out of this. And just shut down that Drow Ranger's farm. Even to a point where I'm wondering if it might be better for SNA to actually split up their team. So you go for an Invoker. Yeah, it doesn't reveal out the aggro tri-lane, but what it does reveal is the fact you do have Sunstrike to help out the aggro tri-lane once they get their stuns. They need a follow-up stun. The Ogre Magi and Skywrath Mage are not enough unless you've got a really good burst damage hero that can run that offlane for him. Someone that won't care if he gets silenced or slowed. Can still throw that stun out.
5 seconds
we'll see what signature heroes they prefer to have for this. No, but Cygnus Assassins could in fact completely dodge this. They could in fact run the Drow Ranger and a Visage on the offlane up against Nature's Prophet, and then get Centaur and someone that just keeps not today back. It could happen with like just a telekinesis. You could use a Rubik as your final selection here. That could be your controller. There's a lot of good abilities to steal from Not Today in this matchup. And you've already got your bonus then coming out from Drow Ranger, so your Rubik actually does some nice damage too. The only problem is when Skywrath Mage starts throwing harassment at him. Even that he should be okay. It's a little bit of magic to the Grand Magus.
10 seconds remaining.
The PA is the final burnout by SNA. That would have been your burst damage to make the most of the controlled time from Skywrath and Ogre. And that would have zoned the Drow Ranger out in the offlane.
Reserve time.
Didn't have to be an aggro hero. In fact, the Nature's Prophet could even be part of this aggro tri-lane if they want to. And they're actually out the VS. So they take out the Aura combo instead. So SNA, their final selection, how they want to run this. Do we get defensive? Do we get tricky? My bet's on Rubik or Enchantress right now, but the Enchantress probably a less of a chance. Primarily because I just don't think that Whitebeard will play it. Unless he wants to play the Visage. But I'm fairly certain Fluff and Stuff wants to have that hero. Unless he wants to start microing up his Enchantress army as well as Familiars. That is not a simple task for any man.
Remaining.
SNA, come on. Last one.
Reserve time.
Who do they think can battle up against this and still make sure Drow Ranger gets space? Into the mid-game? The mid-game's actually looking quite good for both sides. They've both got a lot to play around with. Ogre Magi, we know how powerful his multicast can be if he's able to get a good hit off. So pray to the random generator gods now. Nature's Prophet, going to be really good on the split push. Obviously, the Visage Birds will cause some problems for that. But not too many of them. And then the Skywrath Mage, the Invoker, like the kill potential is really quite good. And the Witch Doctor will be their final selection. It's not to keep the Drow Ranger up. Not a bad ultimate. And pretty good lane control. How did this guy get through to the 5th? How does he ever get through to the 5th? He's so powerful. He's so powerful, this Terrorblade. I'm 3 for 3 on my Terrorblade casting. I've cast 3 games of Terrorblade, and every single one he has won. Every single one. So let's get into it, and we'll see how... We'll see how Terrorblade's going to fare in this. Now, if this now just means they go a safe flame, that's an easy pull. They could actually run Skywrath and Prophet on the off lane, leave Ogre Magi pulling, and then Terrorblade up on the top lane, up against IX Mike 88. IX Mike 88 is going to die with that case. I actually kind of want to see a bit of a change up in that.
5 seconds
Put the Centaur to the bottom lane. Just give him one like a Witch Doctor for some help. Switch the lanes up if you can. Looks like they're going to go pretty well standard. Mike's moving north. Drory's moving south. What is that headpiece? The Sentinel Hood. Oh, hello. Thursday evening Cup Series. Oh, how American. How American. Very nice. Very nice, Ush. I check out your swag, man. That's some pretty boy swag right there. Alright. Defensive ward up by Mihawk. Primarily just so he doesn't get ganked up from this side. This allows him to basically walk to roughly about here in the lane. But more importantly, it lets him see the rune on the bottom. While up on top, it will actually be a safe lane Terrorblade. Very early Observer ward up here, so I think Mike88 knows exactly what he's up against. Are they switching at all?
30 seconds to battle.
TC's moving up. She might actually be even a better choice. Putting TC up against the Terrorblade. You know he's gonna, well, up against the Invoker, it can go both ways. It kind of depends who gets the extra help from the rotating supports. And Fluff and Stuff leaves a nice aggressive ward inside the lane too, so they'll be watching Mihawk rather closely. Well, these first runes, so who gets the bonus advantage apart from obviously Bounty will be there. So it's an Invis rune to Masoku. His Skywrath Mage might be able to help just tip the tides of the battle here in middle lane. TC's failed the block. Ended up losing one. So Smash will have the high ground advantage early on. Be a bit of an aggro pull to try and get it back from TC. But Smash will still be very happy with this. And of course TC actually needs to be able to see Smash before it can aggro pull him back. So, well, it gets close and already just starts beating into Smash. Moves up to the high ground himself. And this is what I do like about like TC's Viper. He could just get so over-aggressive up against the Invoker, especially when you realize that you're going up against like an Exort first, which is going to happen anyway. You're never going to go Quas first. But with Nether Toxin from the Viper, you're able just to beat into this Invoker and burn out all of his consumables. And that's the primary goal right now from TC. Put Smash as low as he possibly can. Because he also has to build himself into his own bottle, so CS is critical. But he wants this Invoker zoned out. It's like Whitebeard's already up to level 2 on this offlane. Fluff the stuff. Man is helping him with a pull, and Mihawk. Oh, we saw NoT do this yesterday. It was a little bit different though, because they're trying to use a Skywrath Mage to do it. But they're going to use an Nature's Prophet now on Mihawk. Just to farm up the Ancients. Any range hero can really do this. Just pull them around the sides. You'll munch through a couple of trees to do it. But you're still able to find yourself a level 2 in a not too horrendous time frame. Hilarious thing is that Trine actually helped them do the pull right now. Keeps his creep wave being fully denied. And a lot of experience points coming into Ush. So now 10-1 on the CS board. Keeping the lane nicely throttled. Mihawk just got the big ancient granite golem left.
Just what
Mike88's at least got his pull over, and that's what they shield the stack. So because of that, one creep's gonna move up and keep the dark creep wave at bay. But the rest of his creep wave is gonna get denied up, so Terrorblade's not gonna get all the experience he was searching for from this. And in fact, Centaur's gonna crack level 3 because of this too. Now finally the creep wave comes in range of the bottom tower. Mihawk will lose his clarity, but he's gonna grab level 3, so that's more important for him. Actually no, he's not. He's gonna fall a little bit short. Oh no, he's up. There's a new creep wave on the way in. So the throttling and control, it finally ended from Sneaky Nick's assassins. And Nature's Prophet can find himself some nice experience points. Already got his boot, so it's difficult to catch him out of position. And you're seeing already Mike88. The second that Metamorphosis kicks in, he just backs up from Terrorblade. He does not want to battle this guy. Alright, look at him. Who would ever want to battle that? That's so freaking scary, man. Middle lane's probably getting scarier for TC. It's already got his Ring of Aquila up and running. So this game's not going to be the easiest in the world, but then Stun, Sunstrike, Cold Snaps, Meteorites, everything they've got, they throw into TC. The Paralyzing Cast will balance in, but even Mihawk, he TP'd himself in. That orb damage will not be enough to kill off Fluff and stuff. They commit 4 heroes to ensure the kill on the Viper. And they're fully successful. Smash did burn through a lot for that. It wasn't even actually the Cold Snap. They did throw everything they had for that. He actually ended up going for, because the reason why it's not Cold Snap is because there's no points up in Quas. He went 1 Wex and 2 Exort over on this Invoker. We'll give him the Alacrity bonus for now inside the lane. I don't think TC was really expecting that much damage to come out from Smash. Not that early on. Yeah, seeing right there, because without the Wex point, he would never have the Chaos Meteor either.
I'll take that.
Now even move up, pick up an illusion rune for himself. Well, the Witch Doctor will take the bounty rune in the bottom lane. And what are you really getting in return? Show your Drow Ranger's getting some good farm. I'm actually still waiting for the Drow Ranger as well as Terrorblade combo to work. If you could just run it like TZ does with the Drow Ranger in the mid, and then run the Terrorblade in the safe lane, or switch it around, either way, don't really care. Alright, that's going to be one powerhouse of a Terrorblade. But now Mihawk's going to try and stand his ground in the bottom lane. His Treant's just getting farmed up by Fluff as well as Whitebeard, but kept in the vision. He already had the Observer Ward for it. Ush, that's 3 levels up in the Cold Arrows. It's a lot of slow as well. He'll spread himself up. They have to cut free, but now in comes Mystico. He'll throw the Ignite over. There's still some Treants. Here's a Sunstrike. If he moves forward, it's going to hit with the Orb Shot. The attack through the tree line. There's trying to be some help, and they've got it. Mystico's in, and that's going to be the death there of the Drow Ranger. Sneaky Nick's Assassin's in a lot of trouble, and Mystico, he couldn't get the secondary Ignite off. 2 for 0 in favor of NoT. They kill off the safe lane Drow Ranger, and Terrorblade's going to go to town up on this top lane. There's Terrorblade and Terrorblade to push out against this tier 1 tower, dishing out over 140 damage with every swipe, and IX-Mike88 even using a double edge on the front of that. Good luck. Metamorphosis is about to run out for him though. But he's still got himself one range illusion. So some easy damage into the tower, and he's back into his normal self. And that tower is still some chip damage, down to 500 life points 5 minutes in. Screw DKs in the future, Terrorblade is the future. Now 6-minute rune's gonna be a bounty rune. TC, the Ignite to start with, the Meteorite being dropped down as well. They got so much burn damage into TC. He just can't survive up against this. So a second death to his name, 3 to 0 in favor of NoT. They push their advantage now above 1,000 in the gold. And your experience still a little bit up for the Sneaky Nick's Assassins because they're just doing a better job for their pull points. But the rotation from the heroes is so much better. A point booster will arrive now for Whitebeard. So they are on their way to getting that combination up with the Drow Ranger. She does have a level 6 as well, which means this tier 1 tower is, well, minutes are numbered. I'll say days, but you're not going to get through days on this. But there's a lot of movement coming up to top. Mystico and Masoku. Smoke's going to break. They'll see Fluffer stuff. Or at least know the Fluffer stuff's in pretty close. I don't think they actually have vision down that far. No, they don't. So they just back it up. Not going to take a risk with a ballsy dive behind the tower. If it was just one hero up there, it would have been a lot easier. But with no metamorphosis over on Iwo, there's just no reason to risk it. He's got it up in a moment. They can go later. It's just a little bit of a waste of time for the rotation. Mihawk's back to farming up Ancients. Almost up at level 6 now, and this Nature's Prophet for 7 minutes in. This Diecam is actually quite easy to exploit this way. And there she goes, level 6 is up, so Wrath of Nature, bonus damage. Smash can find that opening in the mid. He's got his Collar Snap now available because he's got 1.0 for in the Quas. Going for a very split build, and they're jump up. It's on the Terrorblade. Big initiation, fluff and stuff. Trying to bring him down, but the damage isn't enough. The Wrath of Nature kicks through. Oh, this is disastrous. The Drow will be able to still get the kill on the Terrorblade, but the Sunstrike, the targeting is perfect from Smash. He picks up the kill from the mid. He'll pick up a regeneration rune as well. And while NoT, they do get the advantage from that one, they still do give a lot over to the Drow Ranger with 760 experience and 165 gold, but she dies and she lost a lot of it too. It's not that great. NoT are still light years ahead. With a 3-for-1 trade-off, they're happy as Larry. And they're getting more and more momentum. The Visage is trying to do the same kind of thing in the bottom lane. They might consider triggering that Drow Aura right now. In fact, well, they're holding on to it, but Mihawk, a lot of damage with the Grave Chill, Soul Assumption damage. If that Drow Aura already went, then Mihawk is dead right now. Trying to battle inside the tree lines. He's almost got one of the familiars down, but not fast enough. You got the drop in a moment. But the revenge does kick in, so Whitebeard able to just taste that sweet, sweet revenge. And also, taste 1,500 gold away from having his Ags. So good money in for him. Top lane push is going to come again. This time the tier 1 tower will drop. No metamorphosis, but they don't really need it right now. There's no way Sneaking Assassins want to try and fight that. Instead, they'd love to have a crack at mid, but these observer wards are already down right now. So the second they're trying to initiate on Smash, you'll see it coming. They actually get the bottom lane instead, NoT. Catching out Whitebeard, the Sunstrike, just going to hold him there for the Invoker Sunstrike to connect. Familiars, no drop down, but not enough damage coming out from Mihawk to get the hit. And there goes your tier 1 tower as well. So a tier 1 tower as well as the death of the Visage. An easy day's work for NoT. They are really making this seem like very, very easy. A smash back up to that high ground. What's he got? He's hand of minus now, just before the 10-minute mark. This is already with a Terrorblade who has drums, treads, Ring of Aquila 10 minutes in too. I hate to say it, but this game is looking over and over as time is progressing. And Dread Ranger is at least finding some extra bonuses here, but having a Wraithband, Ring of Aquila, as well as Power Treads this early on, that's not really the advantage you want to write home about, especially when there's a lot of experience going begging on the bottom lane. She didn't get a Midas, she actually went for a Morbid Mask instead, and now Mystico, gotta look for the stun. They use the center ulti, but the stun still connects. Mystic Flare, she has a little bit more time to run away. The Orb attack will fly in, but the center ulti being used in a defensive nature. The Drow getting forced back out of the jungle. While Terrorblade continues just to control up top, up to 5,000 net worth now on this guy. And with the full Midas over on Smash, he'll also be bumping up into levels as well as money.
Of you.
He's actually left just that 1 point up in Wex for now. Enjoyed the meteorite while he had it. It looks like Masoku's trying to get a little bit more space in this bottom lane. Once he picks up, I think you have double Arcane Boots. All the mana in the world. Just to keep spamming at all of their harassment. Looks like Centaur. He's just doing damage to himself with his double edges. Ike's Mike 88 desperately trying to get to that Blink Dagger on him. Masoku and Mystico. They're still waiting for that opening, but no one's giving it to him. The Drow Ranger is not coming back. Ush is now farming up Ancients instead. The only way he feels he can get himself ahead of the curb. This will allow him to buy up the Mask of Madness. And in fact, that is exactly what he's purchasing. Fortunately for him, the Courier just made a trip up for fluff and stuff. Bringing a new set of wards as well as smoke. So he doesn't have it just yet. TC's back into his farming in the middle lane. Getting closer and closer to having that full mech done. In fact, I say closer, he actually has the full mech done. We'll see if it will be enough for him. It's a quick bounty room for TC. The bottom illusion room was already taken by the Invoker. Alright, so there's your Mask of Madness. Back to farming up on the top lane. Whitebeard gonna try and defend that bottom lane, but you see Mystico just, how aggressively is he moving forward? They have Observer Wars there looking for it. Mihawk throws out his ultimate, holds Whitebeard in position. They get the seal and the Mystic Flare. But at the same time, Mihawk not having the easiest time in the world. Then again, neither does Fluff. 1,500, that all, 20 life points he went down to at one point. The Voodoo Restoration kept him alive. The tier 1 tower is slowly being whittled away. Arcane Boots from just the Ogre Magi, giving a little bit more back over to the Skywrath. And Blink Dagger has arrived for the Centaur, but Ike's Mike 88 still needs to heal up before he can use it. It's like up on top lane. Push. And you trigger Mask of Madness underneath the Terrorblade that's dishing out over 200 damage a pop. That's death right there. Smash slowing down TC. He was looking for the Prophet to TP in to help him out. Mihawk actually ended up holding off on that. It was about to, but just stopped. Buys his treads instead. They're still waiting for just an easy hit on bottom lane. Fortunately for the Ogre Magi, he can't really do much about these familiars. At the same time, he doesn't really care about it while Drow Range is down. Sure, she got the 4 points up. It's a 4-1 full 1 build. But you don't really care while she's dead, because then the familiar's bonus damage just really isn't there. And really it's not anyway, because you don't have any like massive agility buff up. That bonus damage increase that TC's now getting right now is 43. Like, that's okay. I'm not going to shrug off 43 damage. But at the same time, it's not that powerhouse you're going to get scared of compared to the potential of getting multicast and Mystic Flare down. They're TPing back into towards middle lane. There's no way NoT have to give up their tier 1 towers. They're the ones who have full control of this game. They're up by 4,000 in the net worth, 3,000 in the experience. This Terrorblade is a beast. Now with a Yasha on him as well. They're looking at bottom lane, IX Mike. Blink, Hoof Stomp, and then just Death Ward. Easiest way to ensure the kill. Sunstrike's looking for a pick off on Fluff and stuff. Well, how many points up an Exort? Okay, that's a lot. 350 damage. It wouldn't have been enough to kill off Fluff, though. He had enough life points. That's still a good pickup on the Ogre Magi. When the Drow Range is finally finding her space up on the top lane. Hits a level 2 ultimate, which is kind of why the damage increase is a lot higher right now for the Viper at 46 points. I'm still going to laugh if the Drow and Visage combo is enough to bring down Terrorblade. So some Tranquil Boost coming in for the Witch Doctor. Trying to keep him on the front lines, but there's just no mana regeneration coming in for Fluff and stuff. Should also flag too, I didn't actually do this before, the fact that the Whitebeard is the man taking up that Visage role, as opposed to Fluff. So no extra micro control from Fluff in this game. Necro units can be the purchase up by Smash. Allow them to push, but probably more importantly, getting rid of that mana pool. Especially on the Centaur, if you can do that before the engagement. Take away either the Hoof Stomp or that Stampede right now. Hoof Stomp connects over on the Invoker. He's got 3 points over in the Exort, but he'll go Invis. So quick from Smash. At the same time, Flopperstock got damaged down by Mystico. They used Mystic Flare as well. The treants are hovering around now. Ike's Mike 88, they seal him up. And double multicast from Mystico. The Sprout from Meork is keeping TC out of this fight for the moment too. But he's looking for more. The Sunstrike, a little bit off target. TC goes on the lower part of the ground. And Smash, he's got an Invoke possible. He's looking for a Cold Snap. He needs to keep his distance. The Soul Assumption damage will bring down, finally, the Invoker. The Gust coming in from Ush. Looking to fight. The Meg Charge from Whitebeard will keep his teammates alive. And Mihawk, too much damage. And even Ush, look at the deeps. He misses uphill, but he doesn't miss that one. Not with the Soul Assumption damage as well. It's a double kill over to Whitebeard. And they'll bring down this tier 1 tower. And NoT, they're looking good until then. And they gave away a lot. They gained no experience. They lose gold. They gave gold away. To a rather large amount too. For the 3 hero deaths. Of course, that's not actually including the death of Fluff and stuff early on. So they did get something back from that. Now you're able to afford a Blink Dagger over on the Drow Ranger, and the full Aghanim Scepter is completed for the Visage. And this is still 17 minutes in, and you have a level 2 set of Familiars with the Aghanim's upgrade, and they're actually summoned too. So it's not even waiting for this. Drow Ranger sitting at level 12, with a lot of ability to just chase and also escape. So you put all this together, and you're looking at a solid lineup coming up here from Sneak Nix Assassins. And the advantage, they just gained it all back on the experience. And the gold change obviously will also kick back up again. With the experience advantage that NoT had and how one side of that engagement was, it's rough. But the Terrorblade is still very, very big. You can actually buy his entire mana style right now too. But it's not enough life points to survive. The Drow Ranger's DPS is still insanely high. And when you add a Viper in towards the mix, the Terrorblade can't run. You can have a whole bunch of himself, but if you can isolate the correct target, Terrorblade will go down. It's like bottom lane, Death Ward again from Fluffer Stuff. They get another kill over on Mystico. Ogre Magi dying, not the same way, because last time around it was the Centaur, it was IX Mike 88 initiating, but they're saving him for the top lane while Drow Ranger brings down the tower. And then just Prophet Ulti does finally bounce up to Ush. So he takes some extra damage, actually TPing in towards the mid. There's a lot of Terrorblade coming in, but the bouncing cast is going to slow him down. The Centaur ulti, they're looking for actually the hit. The Hoof Stomp too far away from IX Mike 88. He comes in, the Cold Snap's keeping him at bay. The Familiars are rotating in from the sides, but NoT having not a bar of it, they've backed up completely. Back to almost their tier 2 tower. In fact, Terrorblade's running back to base, he's got no mana left. And just Prophet will get rid of that tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, but picks up a Maelstrom for it. They're just losing map control now. Which is the worst thing you could have when you're going up against such a lineup like Drow Ranger and the Visage. Because they will start just chipping away at your tier 2s. Restricting your movement, restricting your advantage. And And TC up to 2.7k gold. Should be the point booster being purchased. Yeah, it is. So the 1500 and that Aghanim Scepter is going to arrive. At the same time, we do still have the Necro units on the way from Smash. It's only a level 1. Obviously, that death kind of set him back a little bit. But he's definitely not nerfed by any stretch of the imagination. They're falling behind, no doubt, but there's still a lot to work with NoT's lineup. Four stuff being built by the Ogre Magi too. Familiars are taking away Terrorblade's farm. You get really frustrated with this at the end of the day. If I stop saying that too, that'll be really helpful. Alright, TC. Back to middle lane. He's got more help. He's got a lot more attack coming at him. And now TP in the center Ollie, but TC can't break free. Throws the Ollie out. Mihawk, a lot of multicast, but Whitebeard comes in. Solves such a damage, and the Familiars are attacking directly into the Ogre Magi with the Death Wall from Bluff and stuff, almost a full duration. The Familiars just a little bit too far away. Finally, they get the drop down stun from Whitebeard to get the kill. Smash will come back up in a moment, but the Drow stays alive. She triggered her aura for that one too. That's why the Familiars did so much damage during the engagement. So it's a 3-for-2 trade-off. Pretty well split as far as the advantage goes, however. But the Terrorblade didn't die, which is probably the more critical thing for NoT. Obviously, they prefer, like, with the Invoker to live too, which they got both of that. Profit dying, but hey, he's a sacrificial lamb anyway. He'll get his money back when he starts doing the split pushing. Well, the fact that Drow Ranger was also capable of standing through that fight.
Under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
It's probably almost a bigger problem for him. That BKB is getting closer and closer.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Oh, Terrorblade gets taken mid tower. As Ush continues to farm up on the bottom lane. Masoku wants to jump him, but he has no way to do so. Second he throws a concussor shot, then Drow just blinks herself away. In the meantime, she keeps getting more and more money, getting closer and closer to that BKB, and probably more importantly, closer to level 16. And that's when we rack up the damage output once again. And TC will be a very, very happy chappy. Smash does have his level 2 Necro units now. What we got coming out in the Courier? An Ultimate Orb. So the Skadi is starting up. A lot of life points with 1600 to get through, but even with 26 armor and 1600 life points, I don't think Drow Ranger is going to have a major problem with this. We got Ush's BKB recipe flying up north. It's bringing the 4-staff over to Ike's Mike 88. Better way to initiate in. And also potential to survive after he does initiate. How's TC looking? Might be a little bit annoyed that Drow just took one of his last hits just then. And it's all going in for the greater BKB, but then again, he's already got that, so maybe for a greater TP scroll. So we'll have the extra item slot. And what's coming out? Yep. It is the TP scroll. Oh, I was just hovering around. It's like for Visage. They're waiting for the Familiars. The Whitebeard would just resummon them up right now. Opening. Mystico going for Ush. And then he triggers the BKB. They've lost the Ogre Magi and Mihawk. He came in a long way. They need a stun. The Gustback does not offer a stun. There's only a knockback. So again, the Ogre Magi finding himself on the end of the death. It's now his 4th death to the name of the Ogre Magi.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He's actually worse off than the Drow Ranger right now. But Drow's able to farm up so much inside the jungle, I don't think she really cares. She's sitting at the 2nd highest net worth. The Terrorblade Skadi is obviously going to cause some major problems. Might even cause more problems. This Invoker should probably be the one to take the Aegis model. The Terrorblade is, I'm not going to say unkillable, but at this point in the game, keeping that Invoker alive is probably going to be more beneficial. Now, Masoku steals up over on Ush, but the damage output is still enough. They come out, Roshan's killed. And the Aegis Immortal, the dude actually still put into the Terrorblade. It will allow him to actually buy out his item, because he is getting very close to having that Skadi up and running, and he wants to make sure he still has buyback available. And if you can't have that, then the Aegis Immortal is your second best option. But really, Sneak and Assassins, they need a proper way to deal with him. Because he didn't go a BKB, you can use things like your Scythe of Ice. But just a direct attack, they just need to get the stuns off. So I Mike 88 is probably going to be the most critical thing here. And that's a fake one. They're looking for the real one, but they'll find Mihawk. Ush jumps up, the Sprout will come, but the Familiars are easily going to have enough damage to kill him. And now Masoku. Mike's right behind, the Mystic Flare will go. And Mike's trying to keep his distance, and he'll be able to do so. The Familiar drop down, Ush comes in point blank range on him. He's actually on the other side of the tree line. Maybe not realizing it, Okamajai getting a nice little combo over on TC, but with one charge, it's not to mention he's got the Aghanim Scepter up and running. Got a lot of life points to fight with. Whitebeard, another multicast. Sunstrike a little bit off target. Now in comes Ush, smash, too much damage. The buyback did come out from the Nature's Prophet trying to fight again. Mystico able to get himself back in range of the tower. TC TPing out, the Familiars. There's the stun. They'll bring down TC. He'll get one last Viper Strike, but the Familiar's going to come in and try and get the snipe. The Thunder! Whoa, Terrorblade! The drops come! He's so low on life! The Familiars will come back to the world of the living. They made this attack directly into me. Whoa! You do not have the power to fight that. He might have thought he was safe because the Drow Aura was already used. But it works for 30 seconds. So it was already up. And the damage output was just way too much. The Terrorblade trying to save his teammate, but he loses to Nature's Prophet again. Free gold. Free gold. And Whitebeard is now going to be demanded by the Assault Cuirass for his team. But you did still get a lot of experience and gold coming into the Terrorblade for that fight. Didn't lose the Aegis, the Immortal. He's 5 for 1 on this Terrorblade. Looking to actually push in a little bit more, but these Familiars, they're making life so difficult. There's only one right now actually inside the... Oh, there one? Two. Inside the jungle farming him up. Drow Ranger. Calling out, they had a sentry ward down, but the smoke gank from NoT, I wasn't expecting that to work. I just wasn't keeping tabs on where the Drow Ranger was moving to. Nice little regeneration room for Smash. I think he might be realizing just how vulnerable he is with only 1400 life points and 5 armor. That Drow Ranger just carves him in 2. Now multicast over onto a Terrorblade. Let him beat the crap out of these towers. Buff them up. And this tower will not survive. So what else is coming out in this courier? That 4-star finally arriving. And Flubber stuff, trying to keep him out. The bouncing Paralyzing Cast's going to keep him off for the moment. The Sunstrike looking to do some early chip damage onto the Viper. He does come in. Whoa, TC! Too much damage on him. The Familiars do get summoned up to try and battle back the Terrorblade. Not really effective at the moment. He still has his Thunder available too. They're stunning him up and slowing him down, but remember, he's still got this Aegis to the Immortal available. The Witch Doctor Aldi is pushing NoT back for the moment. But the Necro units are right in the back of Fluff and stuff. And now Ush, the damage into Smash, he's got enough to bring him down, but he might lose his own life points for this. I say might, it's a guarantee. This Terrorblade is a beast. The Forge Spirits are ticking down Mike, and force stuff up to the high ground. 87 life points, but now Ush is also getting stunned up.
Bottom barracks are
back up to the high ground, but the Rax is gone. They can't take more because the tier 2 towers are still up. Well, there's just too much damage. Mike! Careful. They're coming in. I think it was just actually looking for that Sunder to swap with the Drow Ranger. And then Okamajai just needed to get one quick stun in, and he had him. The stun was on cooldown though, so I don't know what he was really going to try and achieve. But either way, NoT proving the power of the Terrorblade, showing the reason why Na'Vi US lost to him in the first game tonight. And more bounty runes to be claimed. 4.2k gold over into a Terrorblade. Won't be long before that Butterfly is up and running on him. And then this Drow Range is going to have a lot more problems, especially when you're building into a Crystallis. And that'll let you get some quick damage out into heroes like Invoker or Skywrath. Oh, good 4-staff. Yeah, but what it won't allow you to do is hit directly into the Terrorblade once he has the Butterfly. Might even be worth just picking up the Talisman of Evasion right now for the Terrorblade. And it is the standard item build for a Terrorblade, and he's just going to go BKB. Interesting. Considering Viper Strike as well as Hearthstone don't really care about BKB. And the Witch Doctor ulti is also physical DPS. And when the Familiars attack, that's also physical DPS. And when Draw attacks, it's also physical DPS. So it's not really stopping that much damage apart from Soul Assumption and Slow Effect and the Paralyzing Cusk. He at least can't be attacked by Poison Attack. Back into our farming time now. So Witch Doctor still trying to build into that big Aghanim Scepter upgrade. If he gets it, it's going to be so big for him. Because I know NoT pushing out towards that high ground, especially with all those illusions, they're going to have very little to no effect. TC's going to take the hit just for the farm. Or trying to, at least. Familiars are the ones on the... Oh! Almost lost one. And he just instantly resummons. Trying to slow down this push, but they're going to be pretty adamant about pushing down this lane. There's no Necro units. And Ice Mike 88, well, he was hiding in the trees for a moment, then repositions himself and instantly shows himself. But the treants will be summoned. They also scout out the Familiars on the side. Tower's being just chipped down by the Force Spirits. Now in comes the Terrorblade. Look at the damage into TC, not to mention the slow. I think TC was considering a denial, but it took too long to attack. And now, Horde Stomp, they need this Terrorblade down before he gets the BKB up and running. He'll get the split off, and then Sunders on the Whitebeard. The damage gets returned. And we're going to see Sneaking Nick's Assassins just evaporate their team. TC can't even TP out in time. IX Mike 88 and Drove Ranger might survive, but the army of the damned is pushing up through the top. And GG. 30 minutes is all this game took. NoT. Can the Peruvians actually have the flawless run into the Grand Finals? They flawless. They did lose one game in their first round, but they're off to a cracker of a start here in game number 1. Stay tuned, we'll be back for game number 2 in just a moment for our winners bracket final for the D2CL North American qualifier. The winner goes to DreamHack Bucharest, and I would really actually love to see a Peruvian team make their way down there, but will it happen? Stay tuned, we'll find out together.